This episode is brought to you by Criminal Guard. Criminal Guard isn't just a jiu-jitsu apparel company. They support gyms, schools, and organizations. They sponsor local athletes, helping them to chase their dreams. Who doesn't want to wear Al Capone while you're smothering and tapping out your friends? Support small business and support your local community. Go to criminalguardclothing.com and escape like a criminal.
See, Ernest is an old black guy's name, so I'm like...
Is it?
Yeah.
Ernest? Oh, okay.
Like you would be, or even worse, it's like Ernesto. I'm like, no, motherfucker, not Mexican. Close.
Damn.
I'm like Mexican of Europe.
Mexican of Europe. The Mexican of Europe is crazy. Okay, are we all in the frame?
No, you guys are perfect.
Oh, that was weird. You said no.
Yeah, you did say no at first. No, you're not.
You're like, no, you're amazing, actually.
This
Is the blanket out of frame?
Yeah, you can't see it.
You can scoot over a little. Get cozy to Ernest over here. Get a little cozy, you know?
Get emotionally
Get
ready
nice,
for
get
it.
nice and close.
Since next year.
I know. Are you guys
Well, one's the
sponsored?
No, not yet.
Trash.
Oh.
One is for the old zins. If I gotta rinse and repeat.
That's like a big phenomenon right now, these zins.
Is it? So
So if you
I
don't do zins, you're not good at jiu-jitsu.
I love smoking cigarettes.
Okay.
Right? Like I absolutely love smoking cigarettes.
So this is your healthier alternative.
This is like my cardio sucks dick, right?
Okay.
So like you get good 30 seconds out of me. My wife hates it, but like you get 30 seconds and I'm done, right? So since kind of I went to from cigarettes to vaping to zins.
So you're working your way. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, no.
I don't think he's
'Cause
ever gonna get off the zins.
once I get injured enough, where everything hurts so much that I can't do jiu-jitsu, I'm back to smoking. Like, I just love it.
So it's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Like good pack of American Eagles.
Well, now that we've, started with sucking dick, we can introduce you. Welcome to
That's how
Jits-
you usually end? Like, I don't
Welcome
know.
to Jits and Giggles.
Foreplay's
Ernest
over.
and Stephen, the owners of Criminal Guard, the newest rash guard company.
Yeah.
You said you started in August.
August.
So how did that come about? Like well, actually, let me ask you guys. How do you know each other?
Jiu-jitsu.
Just through jujitsu.
Yes.
Okay, and you just started training together, and you just became BFFs.
Yeah. Well, like, jiu-jitsu is one of those fucking sports that you could have a construction worker, a guy with MBA, and a criminal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like all mixed in of
Right.
all kinds of different backgrounds.
Which are you?
and- I mean, a criminal.
He's the MBA
Criminal.
for sure.
Yeah.
You're the criminal in Criminal Guard.
Yeah, he's the
Okay.
criminal. I'm the guard.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you guys became friends, and then what? One of you were like, "We should start a company."
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like I'm the idea man, right?
Okay.
He does everything else.
Everything
I
else.
just blabber a bunch of shit and he's like, okay, this would work, right?
Right.
So I always had this idea about DB Cooper
Mm-hmm.
because I'm fascinated with the character. Like the guy wrapped the fucking plane
Right.
and escaped,
Right.
right? Coolest thing on earth, right? Some people might be like, oh, Elon Musk is cool, right? He built a electric car. I'm like, well, this guy fucked the government, right? It's pretty nice. And they never found him, right?
Right,
This is
right.
a picture of a guy with glasses,
Yeah.
right? Pretty cool for jiu-jitsu, right? Like
Right.
a character that isn't like
A little
as
Houdini
known.
moment.
Yeah. And then we kind of were talking about it. And then we were like, fuck it. We just dropped some money, Luckily, we were successful in life.
Yeah.
Even though I do have 4 kids and they take everything that I own.
And so you guys work full-time jobs outside of Criminal Guard, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And what do you do for a living?
I own a construction company.
Construction, and what do you do?
I work
Steve?
in finance.
Okay. I'm starting to see.
Very.
Starting to see.
Yin and yang,
But,
yin and
but that
yang.
makes sense, right? Like you guys have your strengths and your weaknesses, so you guys.
Ernest is
Yeah.
100% the idea man.
Idea
and
man.
I get lobbed ridiculous shit over the wall, and we just figure it out.
You just figure it
We
out.
just figure it out.
What do you think is your strength, Stephen, that balances Ernest?
I will tell Ernest no.
Oh, okay. You're the no man.
Yeah,
You're the yes man.
yeah. We're constantly getting people hitting us up and wanting to do things, and I'm like, Ernest, that's not only is that not possible or practical, but we're just not going to do it. We're
Right.
not going to do that.
And you.
And we do it anyway.
We do it.
I was
we
going to
do.
say, do you respect his opinion? Okay.
No.
No.
We were, so I think the beauty of it is because this isn't our income and the whole idea behind it is that wasn't the idea. I just became the idea is to like just help others, right? Because like we all have dreams. We all had dreams. Like nobody ever grows up being like 8 or 7 years. I own a construction company, right?
Right.
It took years of drug addictions and jail to become a construction worker,
Okay.
right? Like it's just
That's the
not a dream.
prerequisite.
Nobody finishes a fucking school with a law degree, and you're like, you know what? I do have this law degree, but like sparkling is where it's at, right?
Right,
like,
right.
I really want to hang fucking sheetrock, right? Like no. So we all have these dreams as fucking kids, right?
Yeah.
And then like something in life happens, right?
Right.
Like some people, there's a guitar here that was like, I'm gonna be in the band. I'm gonna be in the band. And then fucking 2 kids later, they're a fucking bus driver, right? Because it has good benefits.
Right.
So
Good point.
we get to, through Criminal Guard, we're hoping to get to prolong these dreams that are eventually gonna crash anyway for people, right? We get to just keep them a little longer. Oh, you think you're gonna make money doing jiu-jitsu? Well, good fucking luck. We'll help you, right? But we all know how this is gonna end, right?
So,
Do you want me to explain what he
Yeah,
said? Because I'll interpret that for
Stephen,
you.
thank you.
So essentially, what he's saying is, we don't make any money. All the
Okay.
money we've made to date has been put back into the community, because some people say they have a community. I really think we are making a Criminal Guard community. Kevin Danzler, if you don't know Kevin Danzler, the man,
He's the man.
absolute stud. Teaches 6 a.m. at Webb's. That's how Ernest and I really got to know each other pretty well. It's not cheap to do jiu-jitsu. It's an
That's true.
expensive sport. It's an expensive hobby. We went to Kevin and said, look, we want to make a rash guard for you. You promote the shit out of it, and we'll give you half of the money we make.
Nice.
And that's kind of how this idea of like, we would love nothing more than to sit back and make a ton of money off of this. But if we're able to break even and give it back and do things with people, that's really where it is. So Kevin was the first one where we really were able to kind of just help him with all the expenses that come with jiu-jitsu.
Right.
We're able to give him money. We sold a bunch of rash guards. We got that out to him. We've since like transitioned into a lot of the schools in the area making rash guards. It's tough to sit down and want to do these things, but we've been able to connect with different schools and academies, make their rash guards for them and go, hey, like, just let us put our name out there. We'll give you a piece back, put it back in to the schools and the academies. And the one big thing we're doing now is we have a deal with Grappling Industries, which is a smaller, cool event. I recommend anyone that's new into the sport, like, definitely give it a go. But if you buy a rash guard from us, we will pay for your Grappling Industries fee. So the way
That's very
Grappling
cool.
Industry works is they have what's called an Academy Pass. We now have an Academy Pass. It's all on our website. So if you go and buy one of our rash guards and email our email that's on there, you're entered into using our pass for the next tournament you want. Now, the thing with Grappling Industries is there's tournaments all over the world.
Right.
So it's not just limited to one tournament one weekend. I think there's like sometimes 5 or 6.
Right.
So if you're out there, buy a $40 rash guard. We will pay for you to community Grappling Industries, and we're just trying to keep the brand going and pushing it back out.
That's
that
really
way.
cool. So for every rash guard, you get one entry to.
It's a first come first serve. So if you buy, and it's like if you buy a rash guard and you reach out to us, we will make it so that you can get into their local Grappling Industries that weekend or
Very
whenever
cool.
it's coming up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
She might hate me for this, but also, if you broke and you cannot afford a fucking rash guard, you could just fucking message us,
Yeah.
right? And we're probably going to make it happen anyway.
But please buy a rash guard.
Yeah. But
At least donate something, right?
Yeah.
Why is this so meaningful to you guys? Like, obviously, giving back to the community is something that's very important to you. Is there a background story of why that was so meaningful?
I've been doing jiu-jitsu since 2013. I was injured I broke my back at one point, so I was out for a really long time.
it was
And-
spinal.
spinal. And coming back, it's, I have a full-time job. Like, it's expensive to do these things. It's expensive to get out there. The quality of some rash guards is dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. People are spending all this money. So what we're really doing is putting affordable rash guards out there. And then we just want to do cool shit and give back and really just grow the community that is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot going on in jiu-jitsu right now, and selfishly, like, we're just trying to be a part of it.
That's really cool.
Like, to pick up on what he's saying, my thing is totally different when it's giving back.
Okay.
I'm a drug
me.
addict. I'm a recovering drug addict.
Uh-huh.
And I've done a lot of bad shit in my life, right? Whether it's something like petty acts, stealing from Home Depot, right? Or just like fucking people over in general, right?
Yeah.
Because like when you're a drug addict and you're deep into drug addiction,
Yeah.
like you suck everybody dry, right? Like you walking on the street by me and like you look at me, I'm like, you got a cigarette? Like what can I take from you,
Right.
right? So now that I've been clean and sober for the last 8 years, like there's a lot of people that I did fucked over that I'll never see them. I don't even remember their faces.
Yeah.
And this is the ability to kind of make a little bit of good and bring that back into the world, right? It just so happens to be a jiu-jitsu because like naturally as like a person that is addicted to whatever the fuck I'm doing, right? Like now it's jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
It was hockey before. It was like all different like steps of what am I like, right? It was like cocaine, right? Then like heroin, then like hockey, right? And then now it's like jiu-jitsu, right? So I'm like all in, right? So if I get to like help somebody else with whatever the fuck it is, great, right? Like I'm taking from what I did wrong and putting it into what I did God.
Right.
Good,
That's great.
right? So if there is a God or whatever the fuck is upstairs, right? Or downstairs, you know?
Probably
And
downstairs.
because I know that a lot of jiu-jitsu middle-aged men are like, I'm a Viking and baby shark and whatever, right? So like, I'm just a dude that like wears a Britney Spears t-shirts, right? It's not tough at all. This is a sport. This is a sport. For me, there's no difference between jiu-jitsu and pickleball, right?
Right.
Like if there's points, it's like, you want to fight me? Well, we don't have a mat, and I'm like, I didn't stretch yet, right? Like. So I'm a little different than like giving back, right?
Yep.
That has a little bit more of a personal.
Yeah. The roof is on fire. Hopefully yours isn't. But if you do have any damage, call CC and Sun Exteriors. They specialize in damage repairs, emergency roofing, and roof replacement. They're certified and licensed and serve all of New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Don't wait for bad weather. Get ahead of the storm and call CC and Sun Exteriors. That's 609-605-3397. And don't forget to tell them Jits and Giggles sent you. Which I do have. I want to get into that a little bit if you don't mind. So you're from Poland,
Yes.
correct? When did you come over to the United States? How old were you?
When I was 14.
When you were 14.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's a huge cultural shock.
Yeah, tell me about it. What's the biggest cultural shock?
So, well, you in Poland that it's like 99.9% white.
Okay.
And then you watch like Baywatch and like Miami Vice, you know what I mean, on
Yeah.
TV. That's like your idea of America. And then you land in Newark, New Jersey, right? It's totally fucking different.
Like just a little.
Then what I see, I thought it like literally, I thought America, it's like New York City, but with Miami beaches, right? And then I just fucking end up straight off the fucking boat, right? And I get just shipped off to fucking Linden, New Jersey, which is ghetto as fuck. Now I'm one of the only 20 white kids in the fucking school, right?
With an accent.
With it, no English.
Oh, no
This
English.
was learned over
Right,
here.
right.
This
Yeah,
is
makes
phenomenal,
sense. Yeah.
right? And then I go around this fucking school, right? Everybody calls me the N-word, right?
What?
Because everybody's black,
Right,
right? So
right,
they
right.
just left, right? I don't know, right? They're like, "What's up?" I'm like, "What's up?" And they're like, I didn't know. I didn't even know what it means, right? I thought it's like, "What's up, bro?"
I didn't know what
Right?
it means.
Yeah.
So like they said it, I said it.
Oh.
I got beat up, right? I was
Okay.
like, fuck these people. Like, I thought
You're
he
like-
said hi and then they jumped me for no reason. Like, nobody explained that to me,
Okay,
right?
you thought it was like a word. Well, I mean, technically
I
they
didn't
were
know.
using it as an endearment.
I didn't know. My first recognition of like school in general is I went to English class. I don't know why. They were supposed to send me to ESL,
Right.
right? But they didn't fucking, I couldn't read. So I was like, English? Okay, let's go. And I go in there and like the teacher first day is like, why don't you read the first page? And so you think my English is bad now? It was fucking terrible when I was young.
no, I
and
think
they
your
all start
English
making
is good. You just have an accent.
they all start making fun of me. So I just like threw my book at the first black guy I seen in the classroom, and I got suspended the first 3 days. Then I wanted to fight him, and there was another Polish kid
Yeah.
that like was like kind of my translated because I befriended him because I was
Right,
like,
right.
dude, I need help.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna fight this guy. He made fun of me.
Yeah.
He goes like, I got bigger fish to fry.
Right.
And I didn't get it. I was like, oh, that poor guy has to go home and fry fish. Like, why do I want to fight him, right? Like, he's got to make dinner for his fucking family, man. Like, so it was tricky. It was tricky being in America the first few years, right? Like, I had to learn everything, right?
That is so funny. So when did things start getting a little better for you?
Shit.
I
I'm
don't
still
know that,
hoping.
Still waiting for that one.
How did you end up where you ended up out of anywhere in the country?
In New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's where all the immigrants go, like from
Okay.
off the boat. No, we had a family here.
Okay.
So when my parents, so it goes even back. Like my parents were very successful in Poland,
Yeah.
and then they got into this like mafia thing when they were like we were kind of like chased by. So they all decided to come here because we had an aunt and an uncle here. So my dad, from like being a very reputable, he owned a company that would like make books, right? And then all of a sudden he's working fucking construction, right? And then I come here and it's like we live in Linden, New Jersey. We have 2 plates, so we have to like switch dinners, right? And I just fucking hated it, right? I was like, this is bullshit. Like I keep getting beat up in school, right? Maybe I shouldn't say the N-word, right? But I didn't know, like,
Yeah,
right?
sounds like you didn't
Like
know.
I remember like, and kids were fucking mean, right? I'm a mean person, but like kids were mean. Like I remember, like my ESL teacher was like, hey, can you write like how does your room look like, right? I'm like, fuck this shit. I was never into school,
Right.
So I was like, hey, I'll pay you $5, right? Like you write this for me to this Polish kid.
Yeah.
And he, as a joke, was like, I don't have a bed because I'm poor. And so I handed it over to the teacher.
Because you
Like,
know what it said.
no, because I couldn't read
Oh
English,
my
right? So I gave this whole essay of how broke I am and we have
Oh my
nothing.
God.
And the teacher was like, you wrote this? I'm like, yeah, see, yeah.
See.
Right, I did it.
Yeah.
Me.
Jeez.
So, yeah, and then you kind of realize, like, I think at a very young age, I realized that nobody gives a fuck about you. Like, nobody, right? Like, it's just very simple. That's why, like, I started, like, kind of, like, jumping into gangs and, like, all these violent organizations throughout life,
Right.
Because I just felt lonely and alone, right? So, and I was like, and there's a group of people that, like, if we hate somebody else, like, it's cool,
Right, it was still a community.
Right, so it's kind of like jiu-jitsu, just like
Just less
it's kind of like
guns,
jiu-jitsu, except
drugs, sometimes.
I grew up hating cops, right? Like I fucking hated cops my whole life, right? Like I'm just doing cocaine, leave me the fuck alone, right? Like why are you pulling me over,
You're like, I'm just minding my own
right? Because I don't have a driver license. Like this is stupid. Like fight some real criminals, motherfucker. And then I'm like doing jiu-jitsu with a lot of cops, and I'm like, you guys are pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Like so, it's like it
Because
also
now
like,
you get to know them on a personal level instead of while they're arresting.
yeah. Well, I still get to make jokes, right? Like
That's true.
But it's like all of a sudden you're like, oh man, you're pretty cool,
Yeah.
and you're a cop. I was like, damn. At the beginning, it's like, damn it, I thought you were pretty cool, and now you're like, I'm friends with a lot of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So what got you out of gangs and drugs and that lifestyle?
So the first time I got clean, I was 24, and I got clean for 6 years. And then I was about to hit 30, and I was like, you know what? I think I deserve a beer. Like, I was addicted to, like, alcohol and cocaine, and, like, I would go to these NA meetings, right? And that was my community at that time.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, my pack of fucking people. It's, like, just people trying to stay clean one day at a time.
Right.
And then, like, once you, like, about to hit 30, I was like, you know what? Maybe, like, they're all addicted to heroin. I was just, like, a casual once a day for a few hours cocaine sniffer, right? Like
Cocaine stuff.
yeah, just I didn't like it. I just didn't want to get high. I liked the way it tasted, right?
Oh, okay.
No, so I was like, let me have a beer. And from having a semi-successful business, I had 3 kids at that time, and my wife was pregnant with our 4th, and I ruined everything with 6 months. I got our fucking cars taken away. We didn't pay fucking rent for 6 months. Our cell phones only worked on Wi-Fi. I remember we had to go with kids to Halloween, like trick or treat, right? And I was like, fuck yeah, we have candy in the house. Like, we have something to eat. This is fucking delicious, right?
Yeah.
Because all my money went to drugs, right? And then at some point I got into a huge fight with my wife, and I remember I flipped the table. And she would hold our son, pregnant, right? Like, broke as fuck. She's holding her son, like, very scared. And that look on her eyes, like, made me, like, oh, I'm getting clean again. So I remember I got clean on Sunday. And on Wednesday, we get eviction notice. She's crying. She's petrified. She's like, we're getting evicted. I'm like, bitch, like, I'm clean now, right? 3 days, right?
Right,
I'm
right.
clean. It's gonna be fine.
Right.
It's all gonna be okay, right? Like we got this, and we did, right? Like I worked very hard from that moment for my family. My youngest kids don't remember me using all this. I don't think either. My youngest daughter never saw me, getting high, and the part of it is why I'm such a huge Whitney Houston fan. Not because she's a Jersey crackhead. It's I remember like my wife had to, like, with the pregnancy, go to the hospital and everything. She would have to take an Uber everywhere, or like my friends would drive her.
Right.
And I made enough money to buy a fucking $450 car. I bought it from an old lady. I had to haggle with an old lady, right, to get that car for like 60,000 miles. It was 86, like a cream color Ford Taurus station wagon, right? It was like what a grandma drives. But I bought it with our own money, right? Again, from having new cars, like we had to build it all back up again.
Right.
And I bought it, and as I'm driving this piece of shit with 60,000 miles on a 20-year-old car, there's a cassette. And I'm like putting it in, right? Because she just had a lane down, and it was still cassettes, right? Because it was an old car. And it's Whitney Houston, and it's like, I want to dance with some, and I'm just bawling, right? I bought this car for my wife, and Whitney's playing. So from that point on, it like sticks. It sticks with me, right?
Yeah.
Like, because it's like, oh, like my kids don't starve right now, right? Like we have food. We have all this like luxury problems, right? We spend more on sports than people do on mortgages, right? Because we get to do that now, and it took a lot of hard work. But it's like, it's also, I feel like it's the beauty of America, right? Like at any given moment in life, you could be like, fuck this. Like I could right now be like, fuck this, I'm gonna be a lawyer. And there's ways that I could be a lawyer, right? That's also why people are lazy, because it's like you could be whoever the fuck you want to be whenever you want to be, right? So like, fuck it, like, I want, right?
Do you find, coming from another country, that you take less for granted than people here then?
No.
The opposite?
No, I just think when you come at like 14 years old, like you don't know what work is, right? You don't know what, like, how much electric costs, or what, you know what I mean? Like, and granted, like, what, 30 years ago? Oh, no. 25 years ago, like America wasn't as advanced. There was no iPhones, right? There was still VHS tapes, so it was like pretty similar, right? But you don't know what a car payment is at that age, right? The only thing I cried about is I lost all my friends. They were my best friends, right? How am I gonna live my life without them? Like that's the only fucking thing, right? And then you turn 40, like almost, I'm 39. And you're too like close to being 40, and you realize you're not gonna have any friends either anyway, right? Because you're like, everybody likes doing their own shit, and you're in bed by 9 p.m. So you're like, what's the point, right? But that's another good point of jiu-jitsu, right? Is at my age, like, where the fuck am I gonna find friends, right? Like,
That's
like where, right? And then I'm like, dude, I've been hugging you for the last 20 minutes, right? Like, we've been sweaty together. Like, what's your name?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is jiu-jitsu one of the longest hobbies you've held?
No, I think chronic masturbation is no.
I'm gonna have to sanitize the couch.
No, you might have to edit that.
How chronic?
No, I'll say yes, because there's always something, like it's one of those things that like you're not gonna get to master it, right? Because you could get to a black belt, and then there's still gonna be a better black belt, right?
Yes.
So there's a continuous knowledge that you get to keep going, and that's like a recovering drug addict, like it's just an addict in general. I get bored very easily, right?
Yep.
So it's like, oh, I'm just gonna keep signing to these competitions, right?
Right.
And that's like the next goal. I was like, oh, I
Right.
did this. Oh, let me do this now. Like, let me do this. Let me do this. So there's always like
the next
little
level
steps. And there's always, I mean, you could win Grappling Industries and then you could lose the next 6.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Keep showing your toes.
So it's like that whole, at least in my opinion, this whole world champion thing. It's like, is it really though? You know what I mean? Because there's like 12 of them at the same time, right?
No, I feel the same way though. It keeps showing your toes for sure. It keeps you wanting to come back and learn.
Yeah. So, and that's why I like competing so much, because it's like practice is just like, what's the point of practice, right? Like to use it in the competition,
right?
right? And this way, like, I get tapped all the time in practice. I also fuck around all the time in practice. I don't take that seriously at all. Like Kevin, for example, he fucks me up left and right. And I'm like, oh, you can do this joke on me. And then I just get to defend this one joke. And he keeps trying, and it's funny. Even when he gets it, I was like, hey, you got lucky, right?
But when you're competing, you take it more.
Yeah,
seriously.
so I have huge anxiety issues. Like, I'm just like, for some reason, I'm like, this guy's gonna break my fucking hand. I'm not gonna be able to work. I get into my head,
That's me.
right? Like, I just keep imagining like my hand being snapped in the armbar over and over again.
Oh my God.
I don't care who I go against. So yeah. So at the beginning when I was competing, I was just going there not to lose.
Yes.
And I was like, fuck, this sucks, right? Like, I
Yeah.
keep getting beat
Right.
because I go in and I'm like, my cardio sucks. My cardio really does suck. And I go in and it's like, I'm gonna gas out anyway. Fuck, this is gonna be terrible.
Right.
So I go in and I was like, no. So now I have few things that I do that like helps me a lot. First is I need to make a human connection.
Okay.
Like I need to talk to my fucking enemy. Right?
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because in my head, this guy is a killer.
Yeah.
And he's gonna snap my hands, and he's been like lifting fucking trend, right? all this time.
So how do you do that?
Hey, what's up? My name is Ernest.
Like right before you go on?
I have a few minutes when I see him, right? Because I always get there early. And I
Has
see him.
anybody ever not?
No,
appreciated
they're
that?
all like confused, right? And I'm like, oh, you're not a killer. You're Mike, dad of 4, an accountant, right? Like
That makes sense to me. It's just I'm
Yeah.
surprised people are okay with it because I've met competitors that are so in the zone,
No,
like you
women.
can't approach them.
Women
Okay.
are different than
Yeah.
men,
'Cause I was
right?
gonna say I've never
Like,
felt appropriate.
you guys
to
hold
do that.
resentments for years, right? You're still probably like, oh, this fucking bitch like stole my homework in 7th grade, right? Like men don't hold resentments, right?
to that degree. Yeah.
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 So I try to make a human connection as fast as I can, right? I always
Yes.
downplay myself as well. Say, hey man, let's have fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's because I remember my first competition, I was like so like fucked up about the weight. I would walk up to dudes that are like 220. It's like, hey man, what do you weigh? And they're like 220. I was like, oh, thank God, I thought you were in my division. And I would just walk away, right? So because I was
Like,
trying
just
to
checking.
gauge who I'm going against.
Right.
So yeah, so that's one of I got to make a human connection, and then I was like, oh, this is just another dude that's trying to have fun on the weekend,
I like
right?
that, yeah.
And then I'm gonna try to break his leg. So and then I put my headphones, I listen to like the gayest music you could think of, right? Like I'm just like Madonna and stuff, and then just calm myself down, you know what I mean? And I go outside and I'm like a prayer, right? Like I'm just like relaxing like a virgin, right? Like, and then I calm myself down, and I'm just realizing that it's just a jiu-jitsu match. And for the next 5 minutes, I'm not gonna get tired, and I'm just gonna try to like do whatever the fuck I can, and then I just like attack,
There you go. I like that.
you know?
Driving the
that.
car with him to a jiu-jitsu tournament.
Is interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to.
You want me to follow that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
where
actually-
to start?
I was gonna literally say, do you have anything
Jesus.
to say
Oh
at
my
all?
God.
Are you also an immigrant?
Yeah.
Okay, where
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
from?
I'm from Ireland.
Ireland. Okay.
Yeah,
What's
but
your story?
He's like the cool immigrant,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
No,
I mean, that is
everyone-
Nobody
cool.
brags about
Yeah.
being from Poland, you know what I mean?
I'm just gonna leave. Ernest can keep talking. He can tell my story for
How
me.
how old were you when
So I was 4 when we moved here.
4, okay.
Similarly, we moved to Newark. I don't know why
Mm-hmm.
Europeans come to Newark. I thought the same thing.
That's a
like,
good slogan.
That
Yeah.
is
For the
it.
city.
Newark
Europeans
for
come
all
to
the
Newark.
immigrants.
Yeah. But yeah, we came here when I was 4. I mean, very different path than Ernest. Let's just put it that way. I grew up a very overweight kid. So for me, like, I played football my entire life. To this day, the doctor told me I was going to be 6'4", and I've been holding on to that. Like, there's still a chance. That growth spurt's coming at 35. So yeah, I played football all through high school. I think right up until the graduation came, I thought my Division I offer could come. That never came. I went the college route, so played rugby at Temple for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would say rugby is probably the closest thing I've seen to jiu-jitsu because it's
Yeah.
people that just beat the shit out of each other and then go have a beer afterwards.
Yep.
And it's a cool sport. So doing that, like, that feels like that's another community that I was really into, still into this day. Temple's one of the best things I ever chose to do. After that, I got an accounting degree. Sitting at a desk for 8 hours a day will drive anyone crazy.
Yeah.
It's not human nature to just sit there and look at a computer for 8 hours. It was driving me nuts. Gained a bunch of weight, was not feeling it. Was just like getting angry for no reason, like getting angry all the time. Found jiu-jitsu, and it was the best thing that's ever happened.
That's awesome.
So I started jiu-jitsu back in 2013. I have probably been to every school that's in South Jersey. Not so much like hopping around, but just seeing what's out there.
Yeah.
I think there's this weird trend in some schools where like they don't want you to go anywhere else, and I cannot for the life of me understand that. You know, everybody's offering something different, so we should be able to go experience that. I think there's a lot of insecurity in jiu-jitsu, and people get scared they're going to lose people or whatever, but I've been to a bunch of different academies. About 3 years into my jiu-jitsu journey, I fell down 3 steps in the ice, very similar to what we have today with a lot of ice on the ground.
Jeez.
Slipped down a few steps, right on my back. Poor kid trying to work, had shitty health insurance. I'm like, I am not going to the doctor for this.
Right.
I'm not dealing with it. We'll figure it out. Turned into, you know, had to quit jiu-jitsu because my back was so messed up. Just was in a weird spot for about 5 years, just trying to find something to stay active. Funny enough, Amanda Mazza was a trainer at this gym I was working at. And I don't know how we got onto the topic, but she was talking about like doing jiu-jitsu and like just joined web, was like really into it. And it got me going, like, man, I fucking miss jiu-jitsu. Like I really got to get back into this. Like this is exciting.
Yeah.
So kind of like talked to a bunch of gyms, gave them my backstory, found a gym that worked for me real locally, got back into it. And that was about, I guess like 3.5, 4 years ago now.
Wow.
And now we're back into it full swing, and
That's amazing.
it's been really cool.
How were you able to work around the back injury?
It's weird. So what happened is like I got an MRI on my back, and the guy was like, you know, you broke your back? And I was like, what? So he's like, the bottom 3 vertebrae you have are not stacked up. They're kind of tilted together. So if I'm doing jiu-jitsu, like it takes a long time for me to warm up. So
Gotcha.
if class is at 6 a.m., I'm showing up at 5:45.
Right.
And you're going to see me in the corner bending over in weird positions, like just getting my back to a point where it's super loose.
Yeah.
And the only limitations I have is like when someone stacks me.
Okay.
And the problem is being a dude, a high calorie athlete, over 200 pounds, everyone wants to stack you.
Right.
And I'm like, no, sir. Like,
Yeah, you're like,
I'm going to abandon this. I'm going to tap. I don't give a shit what happens.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out of here.
Right.
That's really the only limitation that's have. But I feel like we joke about this all the time. Like, I laugh when guys come in that are like 24, 30, or 20, 23, 25 years old. And they're like, oh, like, I'm so sore. Like, I'm tired. I'm like, bro, you have no fucking idea. The day you turn 30, shit just starts hurting all the time.
That's true.
Like out of nowhere. So it's like, you know, like my left ankle, that's about as far as I can bend it. Tore all the ligaments in the bottom of my foot.
Jesus.
Trying to run. I don't run any longer.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like we'll just do jiu-jitsu. But like the things just stack up as you go, and you just learn to like work around them.
Yeah.
Like you grab my foot, tap.
Right.
No problem. Tap.
Do you compete?
So I've been trying to get back into competing. I got my purple belt about 2 years ago. And at the time, the gym I was at, I was running through blue belts. I was running through white belts. And I was like, I'm the fucking man. Like, this is awesome. Like, who's Gordon Ryan? Like, I can do this. I got
don't
this.
stack.
Yeah, just don't stack me up or grab my left ankle. But outside of that, like, you're not shit. Yeah. So, you know, I got to competing at purple belt. And I'm like, there's fucking levels to this game. Like, I was, when we were driving here, I was trying to think, like, what other martial art is there disparity in levels so obvious? And I don't think there is one. Like maybe judo, like the same, very similar to jiu-jitsu, but like it's crazy the levels there are. So I've probably competed about 12 times now at purple belt. I haven't fucking won shit. I haven't won anything.
It's a hard level.
It's tough. It's tough. Like I you know, I talk to Kevin about this constantly. Like, what can I do to be different? He's like, just keep doing it. Like eventually it's going to click.
Yeah. It's true.
And it's like, you know, I always have this mantra, like a humble man can never be embarrassed. And I really try to believe in that. Like the more we just keep going at it, like it's going to work. Like we're in the gym constantly working on things. Like I know what my strengths are, I know what my weaknesses are, but like there's just dudes that are on a different level. Yeah. And it's just, you just have to accept it.
And also, like you said, you have these young kids coming in that have been doing it since they were like 6, 7 years old. You're just never going to be at that.
When I started jiu-jitsu, like if you were a purple belt, like you were the man.
Right.
Like
It was
that's
rare.
a different level. Like there were so few of them back in 2013. Now you have white belts that I'm like, what are you?
Right.
Like, how are you doing these things?
Right. They're
And
just
like,
athletic.
it's a different level now than what it used to be. And it's crazy how good people are these days.
Yeah. Also, why did you decide not to get surgery? Was it not an option?
I didn't know I broke it.
But I mean, once you found out,
Oh,
was
at
there
that point,
anything
like, I don't think there was much to do because they kind of just healed.
like fused.
Like you
whatever?
fuse your, like it kind of just fused there. There's just like the jelly that's in between your vertebrae is not on the back end. So that's just gone. And like there's
So it's like bone on bone, basically?
at times, yeah. That's why if you stack me up, like
Yeah, it's rough.
hidden secret, if you roll with me, stack me up, you will
Noted.
It's so hard not to say spinal. After you say every single time about your back, I'm like, shut the fuck up.
While you're talking, I want to bring up, before we were recording, you said you wanted to discuss something that was on the last episode.
Oh God, yeah. So like, I think you guys were talking about this idea of like showing up late.
Yes.
And like not showing, and I totally get that,
Mm-hmm.
but it irked my soul like hearing the excuses that go into that. Like I get it, shit happens, you can't show up, but I do think there is this level of respect that has been lost in jiu-jitsu at times that really like bothers me. Like I think that when I came up, it's like, you know, if you got a black belt, it was like you were kind of like the big dick in the room. Like it was a big deal to do that. And I think a lot of people nowadays like don't have that. There's almost this like, well, as long as I'm here, I should be able to just get what I want. And that just drives me insane. Like getting a blue belt, in my opinion, should be a big deal. And these guys that are just showing up and think like, oh, as long as I'm here, I'm going to get it. I cannot relate to that. You know, I think there's nothing worse for jiu-jitsu than promoting someone that's not ready. But I also think it's a business a lot of these schools have, and they have to promote people to keep them, the business chugging along. I totally get that. But there is just this like pain when I see people just like dicking around and not taking it serious and like just making the excuses and all that. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
To see those things.
And I think, you know, we're talking about the video with Jasmine Rocha. I think, of course, 30-second video, people.
Context,
I mean, I loved it because the controversy was, you know, half the people are like, absolutely do what you want, you're a paying customer, and the other 50% are like, you're a fucking loser, show up on time. It's like such odd ends. I think for me, like I was saying to you guys off camera, there's limits to anything, right? Like I would think most people would agree, if you're working or you have kids, you have to get off the bus stop and you're going to be 5, 10, 15 minutes late, I'd rather you show up than not show up.
Totally.
But if you're just being late because you're just like, you know, forget it, I'm just going to go get a coffee, I'm going to wake up late, and you're doing it intentionally and you're almost like making it known that you're doing it intentionally, then I think that's rude. But I do think there's exceptions.
100%. And I think there's a guy or girl in every gym that shows up late, and we all know they're showing up late because they don't want to do warm-ups or they don't want to do this. And like, whatever, I don't own the gym, I'm not promoting you, but like as like your teammate and your person that's there, it's frustrating. Yeah. You know, take it what it is.
What do you think, Ernest?
I think everybody that starts jiu-jitsu after 30 years old is fucking insane.
Oh, okay.
Right?
New topic. New topic.
just, I was like thinking about it. If you're 30 years old and you're like, oh, I think I'm going to start fucking grappling
Literally
men
me.
as a fucking hobby, right?
I mean, I was 30.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
No,
over.
and so was I. I was over 30, and I'm like, this is fucking insane.
Yeah.
I have 8 tears in my fucking shoulders, my biceps torn, everything fucking hurts, right? And I keep doing it like an idiot, right? Like, it's like, and this will happen to everyone. You will get fucking hurt, right? There's got to be something off with your brain to be like, now if you're doing it since you're like 16 and you hit 30, yeah, like you're kind of used to it. This is what you've been doing. But if you're like fucking over 30, and it's like, I want to try what this new thing is about, and then you're like, what the fuck is going on, right? And then you're like, oh man, I can't type because I need 7 rolls of tapes for my fingers.
Right.
There's something wrong with your bit. I dig it, right? I love it, right?
Yeah.
Because you should keep doing it, right?
Right.
Like, I'm not saying don't do it when you're
Right.
30. And this is what you need to accept that you're a little nuts.
Any opinion on being late?
Man.
You want us in? Take us in.
But not racial, right? So, no kidding.
No, specifically being late. Do you care if people show up late?
Yes.
It bothers you?
Yes, but not just to fucking jiu-jitsu,
To anything.
right? To anything, because I'm always 15 minutes early. So if we have a meeting at 2 and I'm there at 1:45 and you show up at 2:15, that's 30 minutes I'm not getting back of my fucking life.
Correct, but let me
right?
play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
A meeting or things that are a one-time thing or a rare occurrence, I think that's rude, right? Because it's something you plan for. But a class that's every day at 6 p.m. and you get done work at 5:30,
it's
like, what are you
it's
supposed to
that,
do?
and I also believe in everything we do in life in communication, right?
Right.
What stops you? Not on the fucking group chat, right? Because I personally don't give a fuck if Steve's gonna be late or not, right? But he could just reach out to the coach and say, "Yo, man, like I'm running late." Right?
Or
Not
just tell
at
them,
3, not at
"I'm always gonna be
7,
late."
right? Not at 7,
Yeah.
right? I'm running late for a 7 o'clock. But you know at 6:30 you're gonna be late.
Yeah.
She's like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna be late," right?
Yeah.
Like be human, show some fucking respect, and like I said, jiu-jitsu or not, right? Like in everything, because you like, oh, it's cool you're gonna get 15 minutes late, but then when the class ends, right, you want to waste that person's time, and it was like, hey man, how do I get out of fucking side control, right? Right? Well, motherfucker, pay for private.
Yeah.
Right? Because it works both ways, right?
Yeah.
You want to waste somebody else's time after the class? Well, either show up a little bit before, and if they're not busy, approach them with that question,
Right.
Or like get a private. Don't be like, it doesn't work both ways, because there's people that like won't clean the fucking mats after class, but then they have fucking 900, sending people 900 reels. So you think that will work?
Oh, that's another thing. The YouTube, hey, I saw this on YouTube move.
Oh yeah.
I hate that guy.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, but like that's, but it's the guy. It's always the guy that doesn't do fundamentals that does that. And I'm like,
I'm trying to do something crazy.
dude, yeah, that's Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did do that. A
Yeah.
flying armbar.
Yeah.
Picking the guy up. You're 300 pounds. You
Maybe
can't
not
do
for
that.
you. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you just?
But you should try it.
Yeah.
At home, record it, send it.
Yeah.
we had this problem at our gym for not really
Flying
anymore.
numbers?
No, just like people,
everywhere.
new people, like new white belts coming in and doing things that we never taught, and we would be like, "Why was that your reaction to do a front flip in the middle of like of us rolling?" And be like, "Oh, well,
Yeah.
YouTube." I literally had to sit some of them down and be like, "Please don't watch YouTube, especially if you're brand new, because you're gonna get hurt."
The idea that like fundamental is not a thing any longer.
Yeah.
I feel like for a really long time, like I had to be invited to the
Yeah.
advanced class when I started. And now like people want to immediately get the satisfaction of like
Yes.
doing these like barambolos and all these crazy things. And I'm like,
Right.
dude, you can't even do side control.
Right.
You don't even know how to stand up properly, you know? And that I don't get the disconnect there. I don't know if it's just like we need to keep people engaged so we can't do fundamentals.
I think
but
it's
like
social media.
all
like,
those
you're
like,
seeing cool stuff.
there's that. There's the white belt that has the jiu-jitsu Instagram account that's showing me moves. I'm like, that's wrong. That's wrong, but that's fine. You know, like if you want to do that, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like we're just shitting on everyone today, but it's just
haven't
like
said any names.
yeah, it's just like it,
Yeah. Who is it? Who's
Well,
sending you
the
videos?
funny,
God damn it.
the funny thing is, like, you joke about someone does a front flip. Like, Ernest and I
really happened.
are part of a group chat where someone did that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's dangerous.
full blown front flip, kicked someone in the face, broke their nose.
Yep.
And you know, we're watching the video. I'm like, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like
why would
everything you
do that?
did was wrong.
I was laughing.
Yes, of course you laugh.
Because he rearranged this chick's face.
Yeah.
But it's funny. But it's
You know,
Polish sense of humor, I guess. You know what I mean? All she had to do is this. Right? Like at the end of the day.
duck when she should have done. Yeah,
Yeah, like, oh,
that's
you-
your
Just
fault.
a
You
slight
should've
reaction.
moved.
That's
time.
fundamentals right
Slight
there.
reaction
You know?
time.
Dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Slight reaction time. Real quick, just because of your comment, I was looking up things about Polish people before you got
shit.
here.
Oh, no. No,
pierogies.
it doesn't take 7 of us to screw a light bulb.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on pierogies?
Honestly, I love pierogies, but no. It said that the more honest a Polish person is with you, the more they respect you, and that all of people in Poland tend to have sarcastic, very humor-based personalities.
No, they're just anti-Semitic and racist.
Oh, okay.
So like, I don't know.
It was close.
Yeah, close enough. No.
So I like now meeting you, I'm like, that was pretty accurate, at least when it comes to you.
So
not
I'm
the
a hard
anti-Semitic.
person to ask because I absolutely hate Polish people, right?
Oh, okay.
Like people are, do your kids speak Polish? I'm like, no. Well, they're like, why not? I'm like, because it's fucking useless in America to know Polish, right? I've never had to be like, I got it, right?
I got it.
I've been waiting for this. Yes.
You needed Polak? I'm right here. You know what I mean? Like, never happened, right?
Have you been back?
No, once. I ran away when I was 14 years old.
Okay.
You moved here when you're 14.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
and then I
didn't
ran
you
away.
move?
So when we came here, well on a tourist visa.
Yes.
So when you come to a tourist visa, you need to have a plane ticket back.
Right.
So my parents thought I'm going to school,
Okay.
and I just packed my shit and left. It was a big thing on the news back then. It was newspapers, right? So there was like kids missing and shit. I just went back to Poland.
Oh, okay.
I was like, fuck this, I'm not dealing with this.
Where did you stay in Poland?
Oh, my brother.
Okay.
I didn't have a plan, but I was like, I
Okay.
stole all my parents' money,
Right.
right? Like whatever. They had $1,200, right? That was the life savings, right?
Right,
I was
right.
like, I'm taking this.
And
right?
you just went
Put it
back
in my
to
bag.
Poland.
I bought a
And then you
bunch of
came
like
back.
whatever 14-year-old. Well, they bribed me with a computer. They're like, we buy you a computer if you come back. I'm like, fuck, I guess.
Ah.
Right? Like,
Very interesting.
yeah. But
Yeah. Wow.
also like going back a little bit about like, you know, people not doing fundamentals and all that shit is, I think a big reason for it is because people are chasing belts and they don't chase like winning.
Yeah, that's
Or
true.
there's people that are chasing belts and that don't compete.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely fucking hate that because their wins are in the practice room.
Yeah.
Right, I feel like they have little boards. So it's like I tap this guy today, I tap this guy
Yeah.
today, I tap a brown belt today with this.
That's
right?
true.
When
There
all
are
their
people like
wins,
that.
all their wins are in the practice room, and that's why they'll get one move that they're good at, and
Yeah.
you like stuck in side control or fucking half guard
Right.
for fucking 12 fucking rounds, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, if you compete, you like this doesn't matter then, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like. It really don't matter what you do in practice because competition is where you get checked,
Right.
So you use your practice to try different things, to put yourself in a shitty position, right? And you don't care if you fucking win or lose because it matters in a competition. So every time I sign up for a competition, day before I compete, I sign up for another one.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's, this one doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
I'm
There's
on to
something
the
else
next
coming
one
up.
already.
Yeah.
So like I said, the anxieties, issues, and everything. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
at peace with losing this one because now I care about this one more, right?
Yeah.
Like the jumping the price
Right.
onto the next one, right? So I think, like, I'm like, how do I escape side control? Because I keep at these fucking competitions, and I think a big thing is when you're in practice, and I'm gonna use side control, and I have somebody in the side control. I'm not using 100% of my strength, right, to control them. But they'll use 100% of their strength for a split second to get out.
Yeah.
And then it comes to competition time, and you're like, 100 meets 100, and now we had a stalemate.
Yeah.
So in practice, when you just use 50, right, and you're forced to use the technique.
So what's
Right.
are you saying the solution is just compete more?
Yeah.
Or to go 100% in class?
No,
Don't be
no,
that guy.
no,
Don't be that
no.
guy. Don't be that guy.
I think it's to compete more.
Yeah.
Because that's what really like you train with the same people. At some point you know everybody's game,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you're like, this guy's gonna take me down, he's gonna darts me, right? Like a good friend of mine, James, I'm like, I'm gonna be in side control, he's just gonna bench press me and throw me over his shoulder, right? Because he's 240 pounds of muscle, right? So you start knowing everybody's game,
Yeah.
right? So like you get to avoid certain people. You're like, I'm not
Right.
ready for this motherfucker. He's gonna go
Right.
120, and it's 6 a.m. and I got a
Yeah.
fucking work meeting, right? So I think when you compete, you're getting ready and you take practice. You have a different approach to practice,
Right.
because now it's practice,
Yeah.
right? I'm just practicing for something.
And you're also
So-
like trying to be a good partner in class. Like you're not trying to like
Right.
do anything to
It
piss
worked
your
both
partner
ways.
off.
And even in competition, people say, well, fuck it, they didn't tap, right? And I'm like, yes, but at the end of the day, like if I got somebody's fucking arm or leg, and I'm like, and I'm gonna go at 100% over somebody that's my fucking like it's fucking my age that has a fucking family and just decide to have fun on the fucking weekend, right? Like
Yeah.
it's under my control too to fucking crank that shit, right?
Yeah.
Because is that $5 medal worth it? Me
Right.
injuring somebody else? Like
Yeah.
I've done this to someone when he sent me. We became friends. We became really good friends, and he sent me a picture of his leg, and I was oh shit, like I'm so fucking sorry.
Yeah,
and he
of
was like,
course.
no, I should have tapped earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. However, I'm still the cause of this, right? Whether I meant it or not, I still fucking did it,
Yeah.
right? And I could like not. And be like, all right, let me move on to something else, right? Because at the end of the day, this isn't a fucking street fight. This is a fucking competition. There's points in play, right? When you don't have to submit everybody. Unless you have a shitty cardio like me and I have to submit people because like, we're not doing this for longer than a minute. I cannot do, like, win, lose, like we're doing this for a minute, right? I need a break.
Yeah. Yeah, I see both sides of that. Like, I think it's, like, kind of you to not be an asshole about it. But that is what you're signing up for. Like, I
Is
would
it
never
though?
not expect.
Is it though?
In competition, I think so.
Is
yeah.
it like at like grappling fucking industries? Like I'm not saying like something big, but like is it though?
I mean, I think when I sign up for grappling industries, I don't expect somebody to like put their knee in my face and be like an asshole in that way. But I also expect if they have an armbar and I don't tap, they're gonna keep cranking until either I tap or it breaks. That is what I expect.
Yes, but if they're holding it, right, and then like
Mm-hmm.
slowly go in, there's a difference between that to like what's your breaking point between like ram.
Yeah, I guess it would really
Like,
depend.
who's number one
I think
now,
it would
bitch?
depend
Like-
on the matchup. Like if I was going against someone, like I've gone against women. I'm 33. I've gone against women that are more than 10 years older than me. If I was like obviously dominating the match and had her in a submission, I probably would just get the submission in a kinder way. But if I'm going against a girl that's getting the best of me, if I get in a dominant position,
listen,
I'm probably gonna crank
me.
that.
So
What Ernest isn't telling you is he never loses. So it's
Yeah, I'm
really
like, wait a
easy for
minute.
him to say that.
Yeah.
In the year and a half I've known Ernest, he's lost one competition.
me-
No comment on that. Yeah, that's
Well-
so there's difference.
no.
Yeah, so you have the ability to get into a dominant
He
position
downplays
and
how
do
good he
it.
is. Ernest is very good. He's
Yeah.
very good at what he does, and it
Not
gives
in
him
practice.
it gives him the chance to do all the things he's saying.
Gotcha.
I feel like what it is, I talk when I roll in the competitions.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm like, man, that was really good. I'm tired. Like, we're too old. Let's have fun. Like, I remember I took this guy down once in a competition, and he had me in a close guard, and I was up 2-0, and I can't get out of his close guard.
Yeah.
And I just sat down, and I'm like, you know what? I'm up 2 points. I can't open your close guard, and my cardio sucks, so I'm just gonna sit here till you do something. And then he opened his close guard, so I leg locked him. But
Okay then.
But I was like dead honest. I was like, Joe, I can't open your close guard. I'm not wasting energy, right? Like, but
What the fuck? Like, how did that man open his closed guard and allow you to have his leg?
Because he
No,
taunted him into
'cause-
doing
You're
it.
like,
That's
wait a
exactly
minute.
No,
what he
'cause
did.
I
I
told
would have
him,
like,
like-
no. Yeah,
I'm,
that's crazy.
I'm up 2 points, right? You on your
Yeah.
back, right? Like you
Yeah,
gotta do
but
something.
I would've been like-
because I'll run the clock just sitting here. Right?
yeah, yeah.
So he was like, all right, I'm gonna try to sweep him.
I was gonna. Oh, so he did attempt to sweep you at least.
Well, no, he opened. As soon as he opened, I was on it.
You just
Like,
sat
I'm
back.
not- But I've competed with. So my son wrestles. My 8-year-old son. I have 4 kids. My 8-year-old son wrestles. Right. I don't want him in jiu-jitsu, even though he did won few jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah.
And I've done one with him and my wife.
Right.
So it was like a whole fucking family event, right?
Right.
It's like the coolest fucking
Yeah,
thing I
that's
did. We had
cool.
matching outfits and everything,
Very
right?
cool.
Now my son, like, which if you have kids, I say don't compete with them because that shit absolutely sucks because they go first.
Yeah,
I had
anxiety.
the biggest adrenaline dump before I competed. I was like half asleep. I was like, I don't want to do this shit.
Right,
But
right.
that little motherfucker, like, won 2 of his fucking divisions, right?
Right,
I'm
that's
not
cool.
gonna let him talk shit, and he would, right? So I had to win my matches. So I won my matches, and then I remember, like, you're talking about the age difference. Like, my wife was matched about this like 40-something-year-old woman,
Yeah.
and my wife's really good because she watches little boys wrestling. Right? Like that's how she got really good at like just
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
wrestling from like watching my son.
That's cool.
And she mounted that woman, and I just felt so bad for this 45-year-old woman just like being like, you know what I mean, smothered by my wife. And my wife's like, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And she's like, But the good thing is, my wife got second that match.
Mm-hmm.
So she got second place. Me and my son got gold. So we were just talking shit the whole ride home. It was like the best.
Good for some, yeah.
Because she was almost there, but she didn't get it, right? But we did, right? So it was kind of like, fucking shut up, second place, you know, back of the bus, you know, all of those.
Don't
My train.
Yeah.
On and off. So,
Where at Web?
No, so she would train at Mike's at Fighters United,
Oh, okay.
and then she would sometimes come to Endgame, she just sporadically trains. So I am her husband. So if I tell her go to jiu-jitsu, she'll start doing Aikido, right?
Oh, God, don't say anything
Yeah,
then.
so I gotta be like, why don't you don't do jiu-jitsu?
Yeah,
So
you should
she,
be like, I hate that idea.
goes, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think she's good. She just doesn't want to,
She's
and I'm
very
not, I'm not
She's very
pushing
good.
her. My wife's very aggressive.
What belt is she?
She's a white belt.
Yeah, my wife's very aggressive. That's why sometimes you see me just doing this. Like I don't know
Just
her.
flinching randomly.
Just,
PTSD.
That's why you got so good at jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
to defend yourself.
I keep touching. No, Yeah.
Before Ernest goes home.
no, she doesn't want to train with us because we have a gym turned into like a garage turned into a gym.
Oh, that's cool.
When we like do a lot of like stuff. So my the only famous person in my household is my daughter. She does cheer and she's got like shitload of followers.
Cool.
Like some of her videos got like 1 million views.
Wow.
Right? And it's just a little fucking girl saying, "No, cheer." Like it's fucking stupid to me, but whatever. Right? She's the most popular person out of
How
our
old?
household. She's 7.
7.
My wife manages it.
Yeah.
Actually, like, cause I'm a guy, right? So when I post something, I'm like, "Here's a picture."
Right.
And she's like, "You all have faces like that." I was like, "Yeah, I just took one picture."
Right.
When like I have to take pictures of her, I fucking hate it because it's like 20 pictures, and she's like, "I don't look good in those. Like, let's redo it." I'm like, "You just need one woman." You know what I mean? Like,
You don't get it, Ernest.
I don't get it.
Don't
No,
get it.
no, I don't
Never
get
will.
it. Right?
Never will get it.
Did you have anything to add, Stephen? Do you have any hot takes?
Oh God, where to begin?
Not on my wife. I don't know.
Oh, Lord. Give us a hot take.
I don't know, man. That was a lot. I mean, going back to what we originally talked about.
Oh,
You know.
I don't remember.
Go ahead, Ernest. Give us.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Okay.
No. It's actually a good
Okay,
one.
I'm ready.
It's actually a good one.
All right.
If you really think about it, when it comes to jiu-jitsu, right? How much of it? Because I don't struggle physically. I mean, I do. I look like I look. So I do, right? I have no fucking chest. I look like a rat's fucking, right? Like so. But like I'm just saying, it's like in jiu-jitsu, like how much of it do you think it's mentally, and how much of it is physically?
About 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
Now think of it. You train jiu-jitsu, right?
Yes.
How much of it you train mentally?
Probably just when I compete.
How is that training mentally?
Because I think like on the day of competing, I'm like very anxious, so I have to like work at like getting my mind right to get out there.
Yeah, so
That's like the only time.
So here's my intake, right? Hot take or whatever. But you're not practicing it, right? You're not practicing it out of
Outside of that,
competition,
yeah,
right?
correct.
Competition is your test,
Yeah.
right? It's like you study through whatever, like say 2 months, right? That's
Mhm.
where you do your practices, you're studying,
Yep.
and the competition is the test. That's where you go. It's like
Yeah.
whatever the fuck I did for the last few months to get to this,
Yeah.
this is it, right? Like I
Yeah.
can, that's why like my son wrestles in his wrestling season, like right before states, 2 weeks before states. These mats are packed.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not fucking. Now you should like relax, right?
Yeah.
And you like think you could get all this wrestling within 2 weeks, right? And I also hate fucking wrestling parents. If you're honest, I
Is this a new hot take?
fucking
This is what I mean. I just.
hate them.
I'm just
Jesus.
here. I'm just here.
Fucking Christ! I never wrestled, right? As you can judge by the. I absolutely hate that there's these fucking 6, 7, and 8-year-olds that are fucking starving, right?
Yeah.
Because they're cutting weight so much. It becomes like a weight fucking cutting competition.
Yeah.
That's one. 2 is stop fucking yelling at your fucking kids when you're not willing. The reason why I compete is because my son competes.
Right.
Like that's why I get into jiu-jitsu. It's like, hey, I'll do it with you.
Right.
I'm not gonna wrestle because I'm fucking old, but like I'll do it with you, right? So
Yeah.
we could go through the same motions of I'm scared, I got beat.
Yeah. And you
I'm
understand how he
I'm
feels.
like we don't weight cut, but we start eating clean, right? So
Yeah.
I hate this fucking parents that are just like, you sit there, fucking overweight as fuck, never done a shit in your fucking life when it comes to sports. Your sons or daughter is out there fucking dying, and you're eating a bag of fucking Cheetos as they're fucking starving, and you got like orange on your fucking fingers and your fucking mouth, and you like, get up! Get up! I'm like, bitch, you get up! He has another person trying to hold him down, and you could barely get out of your seat. You fucking crumbles. You fucking compete. Your kid competes and you yell at him. Be the fucking example they need. You fucking go. And it doesn't have to be jiu-jitsu. It doesn't have to be fucking physical. Get your fat ass and do some fucking pickleball then, right? Like, show them that you might be down 10 points. I don't know pickleball's rules, but show them that you're fucking 10 points fucking down and you could come back from it, right? Like, you expect your fucking kids to do that. Right? Because people love to fucking yell at those poor little fucking kids, right?
Poor
That just
kids.
getting fucking, right? Like getting like food, whatever. What's that word?
Crumbs?
Not crumbs. No.
Food poisoning?
Fun fact. I'm not going to call his name. I had a fucking friend that got his kid into PA States at a certain weight at 6 years old, and the kid missed the States because the day before they found him eating a whole bag of sprinkles because he was so fucking deprived, ate the whole bag of fucking sprinkles.
You're getting a food disorder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah, kind of.
Eating
Immigrant English.
Stuff is either like they're binging or eating
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like you're trying to make these fucking kids into something you're not willing to
Yeah.
do. Well, like, listen,
I
I
agree.
encourage my son to eat fucking clean, right? But then I fucking do it with him,
Yeah.
right? Then like, hey, we're not eating candy, then I'm not fucking eating candy. We're not drinking soda, then I'm
And
not drinking
eating
soda.
like a healthier, balanced diet is not the same as like withholding food
Correct.
from your child.
Correct. And I used to tell him all the time, you want to gain weight. You don't want to look like your dad throughout your whole fucking life, right? Like trust me, that's not what get chicks down the road, right? I go, oh, you 135 pounds, you know? Let me see those fucking bones right here. That's what gets me going, right? Yeah, let me see that collarbone. That's not what women want, son. Like, you better fucking work out right now and eat as much as you can, right?
Anything to add to that?
This is
Steven?
how our conversations go.
I like the balance.
They're great, yeah.
The yin and
That's
the
also
yang.
like the rash guard idea.
I can't even get a word in.
We never really heard the end of you being Irish.
no, yeah. Never got back to that. Yeah.
So you came here when you were
Oh,
4. Do you have no accent?
No, I wish I did. It would have been.
I wish I didn't. Just saying.
Do your parents?
They do. Yeah, both my
Very
parents have
cool.
a very deep accent.
That's cool.
My dad was a mailman for many years, so we just joked that he talked to himself as he walked around. So like it just got progressively worse. The first time my wife met my dad, I was like, just say yes. Like whatever he asks, just be like, yep. So I forget what he asked her a question, and she was like, yes, and he was like, I was like, he didn't ask you anything that would require a yes answer. And like to this day, my wife like jokes she still can't understand him. Yeah.
They
We're
are
a
cool
typical
sounding
family. Yeah, we're a
accents.
typical Irish family. Everyone enjoys a beer. Could be a Tuesday night. Someone's gonna have a beer. So
Very nice.
when the Guinness is flowing, you just kind of sit back and enjoy it.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's a fun
What else
time.
is like very Irish about your family?
We can't cook for shit.
Okay.
Yeah. Like we're very white.
Okay.
Salt is not a seasoning. Let me tell you that right now. It's not a seasoning.
What's like a typical Irish meal?
I once had 7 types of potatoes at a meal.
Oh, I like that. That
Yeah, I
sounds
mean,
delicious.
in
But
theory,
no
it
salt?
sounds. No. Just that's all it was.
Oh, just
salt.
Okay.
Like, can we throw some fucking parsley in there?
Oh,
a little
only
bit. Yeah,
salt.
only salt.
Maybe my mom is Irish. This is how,
Yeah,
this is how
yeah.
she cooks.
I love my mom to death. She can't cook,
Okay.
you know.
Just yeah.
And again, my wife tries. We'll leave it at that. She's not Irish.
She's not Irish.
but
Okay.
she tries.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But besides potatoes, like if you ask me what like an Irish meal is, like I have no idea. Is it cabbage?
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
Is
So
that a
fun
real
fact:
thing?
Irish potatoes are not even Irish.
Okay, that's what I thought.
They're made
I've
with
heard that.
coconuts. There's no coconuts in Ireland.
Yeah,
Like
correct.
the
yeah.
temperature in Ireland is 50 degrees year round.
But I'm
It's
still
not
gonna eat
tropical.
them every single
You guys
St.
got
Patrick's Day.
you guys got the baker angry. She's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
there's no coconut there. How will I make my cookies?
She's like, I know where I'm not fucking moving.
Listen, you want a hot take? Conor McGregor is innocent. There we go.
Is
throw that.
innocent.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Explain
go on.
myself.
And say it in an Irish accent.
I can't. Yeah. I'm a Conor McGregor homer through and through. Is he a dirtbag? Yes.
Okay.
Is he a piece of shit? Yes.
Okay.
Is he a great businessman? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a UFC Hall of Famer? Yes. Did he have sexual relations with that woman? Yes, but it was consensual.
Okay.
I will
could've
die on
dodged
that hill.
it.
Yeah,
and
she
how do you know?
Same thing. She could have
I don't-
Just
I
a
don't-
simple move.
I don't fully know, but you read between the lines, and I think there's like a hit out on Conor McGregor for him being the person he's been over the last 5 years, and maybe it's just nostalgia, but being an Irish man, it's really hard to hate on him.
Is it like an Irish telepathy going on?
Yeah, like him and I are boys. Like he doesn't know it, but like we're really good
He
friends.
like told you through his
How about
mind.
Sinead O'Connor?
What did you say?
What's her name? What's her name?
Sinead O'Connor.
Sinead, I don't know.
Sinead.
I'm terrible. Don't ask me about any UFC names because I'll butcher them all.
Sinead O'Connor's the woman that sings Conor McGregor's walkout song.
Thank you.
She's a very controversial
Nothing compares
figure.
to you. Come on, that's classic.
Okay.
Don't
I
ask
just
me to
didn't know what you were saying.
Yeah. I get that a lot.
Yeah.
I get that a lot, and that's usually when I could see it now because people will just nod. And be
Yeah.
like,
Why do you think your
right.
accent's so strong?
I don't know.
Because like you're not really around other people with a Polish accent, correct?
Correct.
So I'm surprised you haven't like developed like a South Jersey accent.
Well, 'cause
I don't
I'm
know what's
from
worse.
North Jersey, so maybe
Well,
that's
okay,
why.
North Jersey. Sorry, North Jersey
No,
accent.
because South Jersey is like an Alabama of Jersey. Like, let's be
Oh,
honest.
wow. I mean,
We
where
passed
you're
the
at,
stop
where
sign
you're
in
at
this
right
town and I
now,
was surprised.
yes. Where you're at currently, I agree with you. But
I was
like, we're
this
like
is nice. They have a
Webis.
stop sign. Look, Steve, this is a.
Yeah. This is how a typical day goes for Criminal Guard. We both have our own jobs, so Criminal Guard is a passion project. And by passion, I mean we don't make any money. So what happens is I will get a phone call and it's Ernest. And I'm usually doing something from my other job. I put the headphones in because I know this is going to be 45 minutes. And it usually goes with, yo, I have an idea. And I'm like, okay, let's hear it. And it's usually a good idea by Ernest. I will give him that. It's a good idea. But I'm like, how in the fuck are we going to make that happen?
Right.
They'd be like, do you remember how Jonathan did Fury on a naval base and they walked out of the plane? We could do that. And I'm like, how are we doing that? And he's like, I thought about this. And then he does explain it. And I'm just like, I love the enthusiasm, Ernest. I want to do that for you. I don't know how we make that happen. I don't. Yeah.
What is Criminal Guard's main goal? Do you want to be profitable, or do
I
you
think
want
at the end of
to
the day, everyone wants to be profitable. Everyone wants to make money. I'd love nothing more than to quit my job and sit
that was
back
what I was getting to. Yeah.
and have somebody else run the warehouse. And by the warehouse, I mean the shed in my backyard.
Okay.
Currently,
It's a nice shed.
it's a nice shed. It's
Nice.
new. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like I have no grand ideas that this is going to go anywhere crazy.
Right.
I think as long as we're just doing cool shit
Yes.
and helping other people out and not losing money,
Yeah.
that's all we really want at the end of the day.
Yeah. So you guys are
truthfully.
doing it all. You're packaging, mailing, like you're doing 100%.
If you email the Criminal Guard email, I will answer you. If
Okay.
you call the phone number that's on there, it is my cell phone. I am picking up. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but that's where it goes. Like,
Like, hello?
it's all us. Like, Ernest does a really good job bringing accounts in,
Yeah.
and then we kind of collaborate on the ideas, and then I kind of handle like behind the scenes things.
So how do people find you?
I will say it. I'll give it to Ernest again. A lot of outreach on Ernest's side. Like I think one of the first gyms we did was Apache, and I don't know if that was Ernesto reaching out or you reaching out to him, but it was we just got connected, and it was our first gym we kind of did a collaboration with, and we were just said, if we can throw our logo on there,
Yeah.
we'll do it for you. And I give him he's like the OG. I give him a lot of props for trusting in us because he's a fairly new school. So for him to put enough faith into us, that was great.
Yeah.
We had Endgame, Bruce Quinn's gym. That was a really cool one. He gave us a bunch of ideas. We were able to collaborate on that and make those. And the big one we did is Swedesboro coming out in a few weeks. And those were guys like we had kind of got a little bit of experience on what works and what doesn't between like sweatshirts and shorts and different apparel. And we were able to do some really cool things with them on their first rash guard. So a lot of the gyms in the area we've really been able to collaborate with and just help them out, but it also helps us out too.
So you're making rash guards specific for their schools, just with, are you having your logo on it as well?
So we're trying to do like wholesale. And by wholesale, it's like, you know, if you have a fight coming up, please reach out. Like we'll make it happen. Yeah. If you have a gym that's coming up, you want to do that. We just said Camden City Jiu-Jitsu Club. I apologize. I cannot remember the officer who,
Tim.
Was it Tim?
That's his name, Tim.
Yeah. One of the officers had a medical issue. I think he I don't exactly know what happened, but he had a medical issue, and Gabe from Endgame reached out and said, hey, can we make these rash guards? I'd like to like give back to him. So it was great. We were able to do over, I think, almost 80 rash guards went out to this community of guys. Like, it's not even a gym. It's just a community of police officers that do this in the area. And we were able to give almost $700 back to this gentleman who had gotten injured. So, like, I think a lot of people talk about community and a lot of people talk about giving back. Like, we literally give back. Yeah. Like, this is what we're doing.
Awesome.
Cash.
Yeah, cash under the table.
Cash money.
Yeah.
And don't forget, your biggest community you're working with is the Chits and Giggles community.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Go to criminalguardjujitsu.com.
Yeah. So what's your Instagram?
It's Criminal Guard Clothing.
Criminal Guard Clothing, and then you said Criminal Guard.
It's criminalguardclothing.com.
Cool. And then obviously you can visit Jits and Giggles and hear more about Criminal Guard, also known as Criminal Minds.
Yeah,
Criminal Minds.
We do have a little bit of a criminal mind.
Yeah, one of you. Any other hot takes or anything else you want to talk about?
On jiu-jitsu or like life in general?
I was going to say jiu-jitsu, but if you have a really good one.
I got fucking 4 kids that I hate. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
No, why is everybody
We're all waiting for you.
We're waiting.
Can you say something fucked up?
I won't say anything fucked up, but like, I think like what's cool about jiu-jitsu over the last few years has been this change in like the scheduling that is jiu-jitsu. I feel like for a long time it was, you know, back to what I was originally saying before we went on a tangent on God knows what. But like having the ability to do 6 a.m. is fantastic. Yeah. I know a lot of people are like, that's crazy. Like, how can you get up at 6 a.m.? I don't want to leave the house after 5. Yeah. Like the sun goes down. Like I am Legend. I'm not leaving the house. Like that's the movie in my house. Like bolt the door. I don't want to leave. So to be able to have that option at 6 a.m. to kind of get that out of the way and do it, it's been fantastic. You know, like us having the availability of Kevin to come teach us in the morning. Kevin's giving up time with his family. He's got 2 young kids. Kevin is a killer in himself, competing all the time. Like soaking up that knowledge at 6 a.m. Like, I don't mean this in a negative way, but most people that are on the 6 a.m. class are like a random purple belt that's like, I can't do it. So for us to have such a high level guy at 6 a.m. is crazy to me. Yeah. To have 30, sometimes 40 people on those mats is awesome. Like there's times there's like 5 or 6 black belts on the mat at 6 a.m. Cool. It's insane.
We allow women on Fridays.
Yeah, lots of women on Fridays.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, you guys, your 6 a.m. class is like bigger than some of the night classes at schools.
It's nuts. It's crazy.
That's rare.
You know, and what Jonathan has built at Webb is nothing short of like fantastic. Yeah. You know, the affiliations he's got and the schools that have come through it, and you know now him getting the recognition on the bigger stage with not only his jiu-jitsu guys but the guys in the UFC and the guys that are coming up in MMA. Like, it's crazy to think that community is here in South Jersey. Yeah. Like, I think when you think the hub of jiu-jitsu, no one is thinking Southern New Jersey. Like, I think we're thinking California, like Brazil's, the Texases.
Now
but
we have a lot.
It's really cool to see what's growing here, and I hope Kevin never leaves 6 a.m. But you know, I'm gonna stay here as long as we can. Yeah. But I'll give you a hot take. Someone needs to fucking sign Kevin Dantzler. The fact that he's not on a UFC Invitational is criminal to me. Criminal. So, you know, this is a guy that's beat the current bantamweight champion in a jiu-jitsu match, the former bantamweight champion, and another bantamweight champion that bitched out and didn't want to go against him. Yep. So, Sean O'Malley, step up, brother.
Yeah. People have said this to me about Kevin all the time. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just he's so modest that he doesn't kind of put himself out there like some people.
Absolutely sucks when it comes to, and I think that's the big part why people
Finish
like him.
Finish that statement.
Yeah,
You just said he absolutely sucks.
Yeah.
Oh,
He sucks at promoting himself. Is what he wanted to say.
I knew what he was saying, but then he just stopped.
So because, and I think the big reason why people like Kevin is because he is so humble.
Yeah.
And that's why I fucking hate him.
Yeah.
Hate him. It's because he's like, I tell him all the time, dude, just take a Sunday off, do a bunch of instructional in one day, bring like 7 rash guards, and then just release it every so often, right?
Right.
But he doesn't,
because
right?
he genuinely just loves what he does.
He just wants to do, he just like wants to do jiu-jitsu, right? And one of the beauty of 6 a.m. that I really like is there's no cliques there.
Yeah.
It's just big group of everybody talks to everyone, and it's 6 a.m. so we all talking shit, and like you know what I mean. It's like we all like some women get mother milked by big dudes. Like it just like right, like it's all fun atmosphere. But there's no cliques, right? It's just like a one group. It's not like 4 people are here and they're just rolling with each other. It's like everybody, most people know each other, and if somebody new comes in, everybody's very welcoming. Right. So, and I'm not saying other gyms aren't welcoming, but you naturally start having like cliques, right? Because it's like, hey, those are the 4 people I like, so I want to roll with them, right? But for some odd reason, and it has nothing to do with Kevin, it has nothing to do with, I think it has to do with 6 a.m., right? It's like, you're dumb enough to wake up at 6
you guys are the clique.
Yeah,
like,
and it's like, it's not 6 a.m., it's actually like 5:30.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
so it's
I've
like
gone.
5:30 till 7, right? Because it's like, one of the guys had an idea, hey, why don't we just do 3 10-minute rounds before we start class? And then everybody else is like, oh, that's stupid, let's do it, right? Like, so it's like 5:30 till 7.
Yeah.
And it's like, it starts at 6, not 6:15, right? It starts 6 on the fucking dot, and it ends 7 on the dot, right? Which I think it's pretty cool too, because when you have work and stuff, it's not
it's
like,
not gonna run over.
like some of my son's practices, we get there at fucking practices at 5, we get there at 4:45, and practice doesn't start till 5:20.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah, but you got stuff to do.
But it pisses the shit out of me, right?
Yeah.
Like 5 is 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Yeah. So anyway, are we talking shit about Kevin, or are we just?
No.
Because I got a lot to say.
We were not talking shit about Kevin. We were saying, Stevie was saying that, he should get more promotions, more opportunities, because he is so good.
Yeah, but that's also like, I think that the beauty of why everybody likes Kevin is because he's not that guy, right? That just cares about just a little bit of promotion. Oh, like put my name on your fucking chips, right?
Modest,
like it's and that's why everybody likes him so much, right? I also think that jiu-jitsu as a whole is just not a profitable business when you're a competitor. Like, get a fucking job. Like, I mean, he does have a job, but I'm saying for most people, your dreams won't come true. You're not that good, right?
Just quit while you're ahead. Give it up.
There's only few people that really do make money from it, right?
If you get hurt.
Yeah, injuries.
Right? So, like I said, like it's...
have a podcast.
Yeah. Like, there's I feel like there's so many people, and I've seen them on like online, right? It's like a fucking 38-year-old blue belt. It's like, I'm doing World Grappling Industries. Here's my sponsorship package. I'm like, dude, nobody gives a fuck about you. Like nobody does. Like, get a job. Like, get it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a cool hobby. It is. But for most of us, it's just a hobby.
It's just
right.
Yeah.
Like,
you have to be realistic.
You should compete. You should like hey, this is just positives of it, right? Except like you will like dislocate something and like torn some kind of ligament, right? All that aside, right? Like it helps you to like lose weight, get better on your cardio, build some muscles, right? Like the whole community is like I said, I'm a recovering drug addict, and this is like clean community without like people have beers or they go out and like occasionally smoke meth, right? But no. But in general, like most of my friends that do jiu-jitsu don't drink, they smoke shitload of weed.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say weed, and then you threw me off with the meth.
It's like a nice little.
Yeah, a little zinger.
But like they smoke shitload of weed. But most people like do like shit like yoga. They work out, right? They're biking. They're like, people ask me all the time, like, hey, you want to do a marathon? I'm like, no, I don't.
That just happened the other day. I was like,
you want me to fucking run like for pleasure? No.
I would love to be that person, but
no.
very
right.
Chasing you while
Yeah, unless there's an actual bear chasing me. You probably won't see me running.
And even that, I don't have to be faster than the bear. I just got to be faster than the person next to me.
so
Right?
That's true.
Let it
Trip them. Steven.
I'm always following that. Like, I don't know what you want me to say over that. Like, I don't know.
We actually were trying to start with him about the Irish thing.
It just,
And
it just keeps going back.
Why is someone at my door? You're going to make
It's
my dogs
spinal.
bark. It's probably just delivering something. So unnecessary to knock. Just put the package.
Ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like,
Get out of
where's
my
my hoodie?
Anyway, Steven.
It's so fucking awkward, isn't it?
I think it's just Amazon or something.
Amazon don't
He's
knock.
still at the door.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Don't answer. It's a Jehovah's Witness.
Is it? Let's have
Let's
him
talk
on
about
the
Jehovah's
podcast.
Yeah.
That would be the
Speaking of hot takes, just
How's
crouch
God?
down.
Oh, God.
Just pretend they're not there. I don't know who it is, but it has something to do with the package because I see him putting something down. Anyway, we're gonna ignore that.
Maybe he writes a petition. Like, can we have a second stop sign in the town?
Who the hell knows? A second stop sign. So stupid. Okay, the fact that they're really like still at the door is actually pissing me off. I'm about to answer and freak out.
I think you're going to have to answer it.
I love how all this is on podcast.
Yes.
What's up, guys? Can we show your driveway?
Yes.
They asked
Yes.
to shovel the driveway.
I don't have any cash on me. I'm sorry.
They
Damn.
can cash
Damn.
it.
How much are you charging? Damn.
30.
No, I'm sorry. It's gonna melt, but thank you anyway.
It's gonna melt.
That's such an asshole.
It's gonna melt.
Yo, if they said like 20, I was gonna say
Yeah,
okay.
30.
That's crazy. That's like what my dad charges, and he has a whole company. Oh, I
The
feel
fact
bad.
that he just said we have Cash App.
I know he said we have. I said I don't.
Have
I
you done
Venmo.
that with the Girl Scouts? That's how they get you now.
Oh,
we
you
walked
can't
out.
even say no.
Yeah, we walked out of the grocery store, and I was like, I don't have cash. Like, I got Venmo, Cash
Yeah.
App, Zelle. Like,
They're
damn.
probably keying my car as we speak.
Oh, 1,000%.
But also, they knocked a lot.
And then he waited.
And then he
That's good
waited.
business.
He saw you. He was not walking away.
I should have handed him the mic and said, "All right, give me your elevator pitch. What
Yeah.
makes you better than me?" All right, guys, listen. I just turned down two like 12-year-old boys. I feel terrible.
You need to rephrase that.
Okay, you're right. I'm like you, but worse. Okay, yeah. They wanted to shovel my driveway, and that is not. That is not. What is the word I'm looking for?
Oh,
That is
no.
not. No.
No.
They wanted to shovel the snow. That sounds worse.
All right, just move on.
Anyway, I said no. I said no. I'm too old for you. Yeah.
Yo,
I've
but
never seen this.
talking about turning down 12-year-old boys.
Okay.
All that sexting that's happening in South Jersey with these women getting caught molesting little boys.
Oh, actually, I have seen
Yeah.
that. Which I hate that you just
Yeah,
continue
that
the
was good.
conversation
That
because
was
now
good.
people are.
That
gonna
was a
think-
good.
That was good.
a
Like
good
talking about
transition.
12-year-old boys.
Yeah, let's
Turning
not
down.
talk about 12
That person didn't turn 12-year-old boys.
I turned them down,
Yeah.
and it was only going to cost me $30.
Pennsville's a weird town.
It really is. That's the first time since being here that they've ever offered to shovel my driveway.
Oh, it hasn't. I mean, it hasn't snowed in years.
That's true. No, I mean, I've definitely shoveled my own driveway. I can't- no matter what I say, it sounds so wrong.
I
just
really
can't.
hope this is going to make
On the
cut.
bottom of the screen,
It
we're just gonna
will.
say, "This is what shovel your driveway really means."
Yeah.
What we really do is
It's code
I feel
for.
bad. He was like, "We got Cash App." I'm like, "Damn, I don't." I'm like, "You got Venmo? You got Apple Pay?"
I have a hot take on that.
What? Go on. On what? Venmo?
Venmo and Cash App.
What?
There's a certain kind of people that have Venmo.
Oh Jesus! I've heard this one.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I have the same opinion. I know what you're gonna say.
No, I'm gonna leave it at
Yeah.
that.
Okay, maybe we don't have the same opinion. If his is like really ignorant, then no, I don't agree.
It's very ignorant.
Okay. Anyway, anything you guys want to wrap this up with?
Yeah, I guess we can wrap.
I shoveled a few driveways in my day.
Back in my day, my driveway was shoveled for free. it's your moment, guys.
Oh fuck! Do I gotta say it? Yeah. Buy our rash guards.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to help other people, buy our rash guards. Don't be a selfish fucking prick. Spending $50 on Starbucks where you could buy a rash guard. You don't even have to fucking wear it. Just buy it and fucking give it to someone.
But they are cool looking.
And then you could fucking help somebody else.
There you
Get
go.
into fucking grappling industries or help a fucking, poor starving child that just wants to do jiu-jitsu, follow their dreams. They're gonna
Yeah.
end up like a bus driver.
Yeah, I mean.
So for now, let them fucking enjoy it.
Tell them about the ones we got coming out.
Yes.
What do we have coming out?
Rash guards?
We got rash guards coming out.
Wow.
Yeah, the businessman over here. So
I don't
coming.
know, I just a lot of ideas.
So Kevin was our first kind of sponsored athlete. We did a rash guard for him exclusively.
I know.
Coming
I would
out.
just like to interrupt him. So
I think everyone knows that now. Yeah.
I'm like the wife in the marriage. You know what I mean?
But
We're gonna go apple pick.
Riot Quinn, Bruce's son. We're
Yes.
doing a rash guard for him.
Oh, cool.
It's going to directly help his jiu-jitsu dream. If you're not familiar with Riot, he is
he's great.
7-8 years old.
Yeah, he was just
Bruce's
on Fury.
son. He's a killer. So we have a rash guard coming up for him. All that will go, a portion of profits will go directly towards him and keeping that going. So that's coming out soon.
So you make kids rash guards?
Yeah. So all of our sizes are in kid sizes as well.
Okay.
Not all of our rash guards are kids appropriate.
Right.
Funny story. We have a rash guard that says "Yippee motherfucker."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, homage to
it,
Die Hard. The fucker's blurred out.
Yeah.
And we brought it to a riverfront fights, and there was a dad there like, "Oh, we gotta buy this. This is awesome." Like it was in a kid size. Why we got that in a kid size, I don't really know why.
Yeah.
Don't blame me.
Yeah, we had it in a kid size, and this mom lost her shit on us. That's inappropriate. How can you have kids wearing that? No school will want to do that. Like, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves. And I'm like, lady, just don't buy it.
Yeah,
like
quite
I'm
literally.
just trying to make some money. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's funny.
The kids probably can't even read.
No joke. An hour later,
He's only 8.
Yeah,
This is South Jersey,
an hour later, the husband comes back and buys it.
Oh,
Yeah, the husband comes back and buys it, and Ernest goes, "We're not going to get in trouble. You are. Just make that very clear."
Yeah.
The husband didn't have cash on him, and he goes to the son, "Go get mom's phone so we can send him a Venmo for this, but don't tell her what it's for." She went and grabs the phone, comes back, and as they're leaving, the death stare of this. I'm like, all right, whatever. Side topic. But yeah, so we do have one coming out for Riot. We're pretty excited about that one. And then Gabby Best, we are doing a
Nice.
rash guard for her. That'll be coming out hopefully in the next few weeks, and we'll get those to drop. So
Cool.
if you want to buy those rash guards, those goes directly to those guys. If
Nice.
you want to buy a rash guard, like to Ernest said, and get into grappling industries or birthdays, anything coming up and you want to support, they all go out there. And just keep following the socials, follow the website.
Very cool.
I write a blog twice a week. I don't think anyone's read it. but
Where is it?
It's right on the website.
Where is
We
it?
write it. Yeah. I write a blog twice a month, I should say. Ernest has never read it either. Yeah, he has no idea.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, he keeps asking me, like, what should I write on the blog? I was like, dude, nobody
one
reads
reads it.
blogs these days.
I will read it.
I appreciate that.
I just didn't know it existed.
No one does. Yeah. Listen, Shopify is great, and they just give you like, these options to put things
Yeah.
on your website, and I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, let's throw this one up there.
Yeah.
I am throwing shit against the wall on Shopify to make it work. It's like $20 a month to keep an account and a website. I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
So
go
it's
for
pretty
it.
cool though. So I think we got some cool things coming out. We're gonna, another drop of us. I don't know what we're gonna do yet, but that'll be coming out soon. So
Cool.
we got some cool stuff coming. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, or what you want to see, please feel free to email us or reach out.
Will do.
Otherwise, I gotta sit through a hour-long conversation to get one idea out with Ernest.
What? Nobody wants to see a rash guard of Joseph Stalin? Come on,
I want to know when you guys are coming out of the plane.
plane.
Didn't-
The DB Cooper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That we'll put that one on hold.
For a little
So,
bit.
buy all of our stock left over, or not stock, but our stockpile of
Invest in criminal
yeah.
guard.
If you want to invest,
NFTs
we are taking investors currently. We have nothing to offer, but
Jeff Bezos, if you're
Yeah.
listening to this,
we're here. We're here.
you think Amazon's big.
Yeah, we're
Wait
like
till you see Steve's blog.
yeah, we're like Michael Scott, like Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. We got something for you. We don't
Take
have
him to the
sh-
shed.
Yeah. Look at this shed. It's not even the whole shed. It's just a portion of the shed.
Listen, I respect the hustle.
Money's tight on rent.
It's tight, yeah.
Rent.
So like the shit comes to my house and it comes in a big box, and my wife is like, motherfucker, because it's spread out everywhere. You got to count the size, you got to sort it, you got to put it out, and she's just like, I'm happy for you, but like
Get it
the
out.
fuck out of the
Yeah.
house.
I
You know?
feel that, yeah.
So like my wife does not do jujitsu. My wife is like, this is your thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know why you do this. Like whatever. But if I don't do jujitsu like for a week, she's like, you're driving me fucking nuts. Like you gotta
Like,
go.
go.
Like
Go
go
train.
do something. Like because I do it in the morning, I come back and I'm like, hey, what are you doing?
You're like so
How did
awake.
you do today? Like what do you got going on? Yeah, 7:00. She's like, bro, fuck off. She's like, you're very like. She's like, I can tell when you had a good day because like you come back excited, and she's like, I can tell when you didn't have a good day because you're still excited, but like you're like negative excited. You're like, so like this guy fucking got him. She's like, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're
She
saying.
probably actually has no idea
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
trying to describe
She's
it.
came to like 2 events, and we did a Man of War event, like last year,
Yeah.
which is a super cool event. It's up in Freehold. If you go out to that, it's like the closest thing to a pro I'll ever be. I lost. We'll live it with that. But there's cocktails, there's food, there's everything.
Like
I sold like 20 tickets. My whole family comes up there, and I go on at like 10 o'clock. I come out beforehand to greet them. They're hammered. They've been in Topgolf for hours, slamming espresso martinis. By the time I went on, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, no idea what's going on. You're in the background. My mom's like, ah! Grab his neck! I'm like, what? All I heard during this match was her screaming, and I'm just like, what is going on? So afterwards, Ernest goes, yeah, so I told them anytime you did anything to yell to influence the judges. And I was like, she did that. She definitely did that. So
Grab his neck is so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. In a thick Irish accent, someone's like, cut her off. She's done. But
I
yeah.
love it.
So my family does not do jujitsu. They all think it's
Crazy.
karate. Yo, you do karate?
Karate. You're
That's
like,
another
yes,
one.
ground karate.
If one person says you do karate, I'm gonna fucking chop you in the throat.
You're like, I'll show you fucking
Yeah.
karate.
Yeah, well, when I did Men of War, the whole commentator was just saying how good of a grappler fucking Kevin is. So I was like, fuck this.
Because he was cornering you?
Yeah, it was stupid. It's like, here comes Kevin Denser. And I'm like, dude, like, yeah, like, and I picked like, I went to like MC Hammer, can't touch this, right? That's like,
Really?
stupid.
I love that.
Stupid. No, because everybody tries to be a gangster.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody's like putting like this DMX X going. yeah. So
And also, what's her name? Lizzo.
so I wanted to go out first to who let the dogs out.
Okay.
Because I was like, because you only have 10 seconds. So I was
Yeah.
like, and then I just like, they asked me, what was your song again? Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
you're like,
you know what? Let's do Can't Touch This by MC Hammer. Because everybody there was old. So I was like, they'll remember it.
You should have done your car song. Your Whitney Houston song.
Then you start
No,
crying.
because- Yeah,
then you start sobbing.
crying in
Because
the
the
thing.
beginning of it. Right, like it takes time. So like,
Yeah.
Can't Touch This just started with
Yeah.
the beat,
That's true.
Right? And besides, I'm freaking out, right? Like I'm walking out.
Yeah.
I'm like, this guy's gonna come. He was towering over me.
Yeah.
Right? Like the guy was like way bigger, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I always compete up, like weight
Yeah.
wise, because I'm like, you want me to cut weight? Like I don't have much, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm fighting for every fucking ounce over there. You know what I mean? Like I weigh myself holding fucking my cell phone just so I could feel better about myself.
Can't relate.
Yeah. So I'm like, so I gotta go there. So fuck this song, And I fucking tell you this, like he's likes the card. I'm like, fuck this card.
Is that how we're gonna end this podcast? Anything else? Last thoughts, comments,
You said that like
concerns?
6 times. Like anything you
I
guys
mean it
wanna-
this
We
time,
just
damn
keep
it.
going.
We're not interrupted by
By what?
12-year-old boys.
But I said no.
Yara, anything? All right. Well, thank you guys.
well,
here it comes. Yeah.
Just a hot tip.
Hot tip.
tip.
Not a
Tip.
Oh, okay.
Not take tip. Before you compete, what you gotta do, right, is get some water, and then go buy these $3 chocolate bars from Oak Treats. Eat them before the chocolate will give you energy,
Okay.
right? not diarrhea,
Oh, okay.
and you will compete better.
Specifically the Dubai chocolate bars?
Yes. That's the only reason why I was.
Yeah, I
mean-
haven't seen those being sold lately. What's going on?
Oak treats.
That's
What did I say it wrong?
oak treats.
Oak treats, like Oak treats, right? Bakery.
I mean, funny enough, that has happened the last 2 events.
You got
is
diarrhea?
Yes, I got shit. I shit myself. I shit my pants. No, but we have had the oak treats at the last few competitions
Yes.
as like our little reward
I
for
like
making
that.
weight.
Well,
That's
yeah.
adorable.
So I just ate a whole cake this weekend, so that was a
did.
big.
I know.
reward
Every
for
time
me.
I see your story, it's something from Yara. I'm like, you buy so much. I love it.
No, because I was like, I see them like posting this like delicious espresso cake.
Yeah.
And he's like, you seen that espresso cake? I was like, you know what? Why don't I get a cake?
Yeah,
Well,
why
I'm a
not?
fucking
You're an
adult. I could just buy
Yeah,
a cake.
Just buy a fucking
Right?
cake.
So
For
she's
no
like,
reason.
what do you want to write on it? I was like, no occasion. We just fat.
Oh!
That
That
my
was
cake.
him. That was
That was
him.
my cake.
I-
I didn't know what to put on it, right? Like, it was like,
I
okay.
love that. Yeah.
So I ate it this weekend, and then my wife was at a cheer competition with my daughter, and then she came home yesterday. She's like, "You ate the whole fucking cake, you fat bastard!" I
You're
was
like, exactly.
and I start, I'm an adult, so I start blaming kids, right?
Yeah.
Not me. She did it. But
Anything,
anyway,
Steven?
the chocolate does help with like, cause I'm like always very stressed and I can't eat.
Yeah.
But who doesn't want to fucking eat
Yeah,
chocolate?
a little snack.
And like that spike of energy, like before, like
That's a
it
good
does
idea.
the job.
I usually do Rice Krispie treats. Maybe I'll have to get some oak treats. You should. Yeah.
You should. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never shit my pants. I'll tell you that much. But
Just to make sure.
in the last month, I have been choked unconscious. That was a fun one. And I woke up and I had pissed my pants.
Oh.
That was wild.
Where?
6 a.m. Yes. Yeah. It was a crazy thing. So we're just doing, it was a gi week, and I'm defending this choke. And I guess he had my lapel around my neck, and I turned, and I was out. I remember saying tap. Apparently I didn't.
Yeah.
And I wake up face down in a puddle.
Of
And I'm
course.
like, I wake up, and this guy, Nate, we train with, is 2 inches from my face. And I was like, what the fuck is Nate doing in my bedroom? I'm freaking out. Like, I didn't know what's going on. And I instantly was like, man, I know I had a rough night, but like, did I just fall asleep during class? And I'm like out of it, just kind of flailing around. And I see Kevin come and run over, and he's grabbing my feet. And I'm like, get the fuck off of me. And I sit up, and then I realized I had pissed myself. And that was probably the worst experience I've ever had in jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. How did you clean it up?
Oh,
That's what you want to know?
So
yes. As
The-
somebody who
the
trains
best-
there, yes.
the
I
best
do
thing
want
that
to
had
know.
happened is I had on really thick black gi pants,
So
so
it didn't
no
go
one
through?
realized. Oh, it went through.
Oh.
No one fully realized what had happened,
Okay.
and then I like pulled Kevin in real close. I'm like, Kevin, I pissed myself, and
What
Kevin
did
is
he
like,
say?
in the nice way, you're good, dog. Don't worry about
He's
it.
such a real one.
Yeah, it's such.
Because
He's
I was
like,
like,
you're
all
good.
I'm gonna say is-
disgusting.
And then,
we
and
talked
then,
about this. This is the first time I'm hearing that he
Really?
did.
He
So
said
he's
it for
like,
the
he won't tell me, but he's just gonna tell like.
I was out of it. I don't know what was going on.
Millions of
And
viewers.
then Kevin got the whole spray gun out, and he's like, everyone avoid that area, and washed it
Yeah.
like 3 times. But it was scary. Like, everyone was like, did you wake up refreshed? No. I
Refreshed. You're like, I
I
pissed
thought I
myself.
fucking died. Like, it's the closest thing I went to death, felt to death ever.
So it was a collar choke?
Yeah, just really tight lapel collar choke. And I was like, that was scary.
Wow.
See, there's something wrong with people.
Yeah.
I went
that
back
do
the next
jiu-jitsu
day.
after
Yeah.
35.
Yeah.
It's like I just got choked and pissed myself.
Did you go home and tell your wife you pissed yourself?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Did
She's
she
like,
make
and
fun of
once
me?
again, I don't
100%.
understand.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's like, it's not even embarrassing. I'm like, who cares?
I was gonna say you seem very confident.
I was
about
like,
it, so.
it's gonna go online.
It's gonna go by.
That's the guy that pissed himself.
You're definitely not the first one.
If pee in your pants is not cool, what's that saying?
Deanna
Miles
Bennett
Davis.
fought somebody who shit themselves
I think Kevin told me that story at the
So
time to make me
that's
feel
worse.
better.
because
At the
that
time, yeah.
I feel like for some reason like peeing yourself, it's like you passed out. She was not unconscious and shit on stage.
That's crazy.
So
I don't know why. I farted a lot of times during
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu.
just love that this is becoming just a very
No,
honest.
because it just you didn't. You never farted during jiu-jitsu.
I
You had a
don't
little
think loud
squeak.
enough for anyone to hear at least.
So those are the worst. It's the ones that you
Yeah.
can smell it. I'm always like, let's just walk away over
No
there.
one's ever said they smelled it. So you farted like just real loud?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I feel like guys also just don't care.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
I
I have
also-
heard guys
I-
fart and they don't even react.
Yeah. I mean, at 6 a.m., I feel like it's more prevalent.
Yeah, because you're like just waking
you're
up.
just waking up. I've just had coffee to get here, and
true,
it's
yeah.
been like, hey man, I farted. Like, let's move this over a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Like, brother, you're gonna smell in a minute. Just trust me on this one.
gotta
Let's go to the
evacuate.
next square over and continue in the same position. That happens a lot.
Men are also different. Like I feel like if a woman said that to me, I'd be so appalled.
You also
Why?
bring up like Deanna coming in. It's crazy to me when those people come into 6 a.m. She came into 6 a.m. one time, and like obviously I'm fanboying out. Like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
I've seen her on TV. This is so cool. And she comes in, and like I don't know how to say this in a nice way or appropriately, I should say.
Okay.
When like I roll with women, it's like I try not to use strength against
You
them.
can say she feels like a 300-pound man.
She's a killer. Like you try to not like rip things, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Like I am using strength.
Yeah.
And she got me in like a choke where she just like grabbed my leg, my neck was in between her legs and squeezed, and I was like, tap.
Oh yeah.
And
that
I'm
is a
like,
go-to
I don't
of
fucking
hers.
know what you just did, but
Yeah.
holy crap, like it's crazy.
She like teaches our white belts to do that.
It's insane.
That joke.
Like her and Daishi come into the morning classes, and I'm just like, thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
service.
He was getting ready for ADC season. I'm like, I'm trying to be helpful. And he calls us over, and I'm like, yeah. I'm like, anything you want to work on? He's like, survive.
survive. You're like,
I was
that
like,
I could do.
I don't
He's
know
like-
if I can do
he's
that
like,
even.
Don't piss your pants.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'll try.
But yeah, it's wild to me when I see these people come in. I'm like, I'm here because I have a budget meeting at 9:30 and I can't make it later on. But you're here by choice, like
Yeah.
100%. And
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy to see some of these people on the mats.
Yeah, and then you can't forget the most famous person that shows up at 6 a.m. Yara Helmy. Very
She only shows up on
popular.
Fridays.
Oh
Only on
yeah,
Fridays.
Fridays.
Late
it's
and
the
late.
best
Late.
day ever.
It's okay. I've
Late.
only gone to 2 Fridays ever, and I'm like, I did 6 a.m.
You do feel like you're better than other people.
I also feel like the day is just so long.
Yes.
Like, as somebody who chronically wakes up at 9, when I wake up at 5,
9?
His face.
yeah,
I get up at 4.
that's
And
that makes
like,
no sense
on a
to me. What time do you go
Saturday,
to bed?
9.
Oh, well,
Chronically going to bed at 9 o'clock.
I don't even go up the stairs until after midnight.
I mean, good for you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
See,
just,
I have 4 kids. I'm like,
I have
by
dogs.
6, I have 4 kids, 3 dogs. I live in a fucking zoo. So like any moment I get to be like, everybody shut the fuck up and go to bed. You
Yeah.
just enjoy the peace for 10 minutes and then you're just like, out.
But to be fair, like, I just have the opposite schedule of you.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I go to jujitsu and don't get home till almost 10. So by the time I like wind down, cook dinner, eat, it's just flip
That
switch.
is why I won't do a night class.
Yeah,
I have
'cause
not done
it's
a night
so
class
late.
in 2 years because of that exact reason. You
Yeah.
get home at 8:30, 30-minute drive home, 9 o'clock. You're going to
Yeah.
shower, 9:30. You're going to eat,
Exactly.
9:45, 10 o'clock.
Right.
Then you're wound up. You're watching TV.
Right, I
TV's
can't go to
getting
sleep
you
'cause I'm just
excited.
like-
Yeah, and then you're watching TV, and like that's stimulating. So like
Yeah.
it'd be 12 o'clock. I'm going to bed, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting up at 4 o'clock to work out again. So I just made a conscious decision, like, all right, I'm not a night class guy any longer.
Yeah. See, I can do it because my work starts late.
It's
I
also
work from
different,
home.
like when Craig from accounting is asking you questions. You're like, "Fuck you, Craig. I choked a guy out this morning, so get away from
Watch
me."
out.
Yeah, you're lucky this is Zoom, motherfucker.
Do you go? Oh, you work from home?
Yeah, I work totally from home, so
So I feel like you like. What's your earliest meeting?
like 11.
Yeah.
It's usually like 11.
So like, I feel like you could.
I
sleep
don't
in.
like to rush. Like,
okay, you like to like get up early to like.
yeah, I like to
unwind.
take my time. Do
Like I'll walk
whatever.
down the stairs and like immediately go to a meeting.
No.
Not
I
every
can't-
time, but like if it's
no.
like I don't think I have an 8 a.m. Like if I have a 9 a.m. meeting, I'm probably like going straight. On to
If
it.
someone has a
Plus a
9
coffee,
if
though.
someone has a 9 a.m. meeting, that person's a piece of shit. You can't do a 9 a.m. meeting. I don't care if you're in the office or on
you.
Zoom. You, sir, are an asshole.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that.
And honestly, I get the better end of it because most of them are in Chicago, so it's 8
Yeah.
a.m. for that.
I used to live in Chicago.
I love that city.
That's where I get arrested all the time.
Oh, throwback.
It's in California. They used to call it California.
They call it California.
Yeah, the jail is on the California Ave. So
Oh.
Say, I've been in California. You're like, the state? Nope.
Oh, I see. I see.
And then, what is it, Prison Break? That was in Juliet.
Oh, Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, right outside.
I had
Chicago.
family that grew up in Joliet, so when we were kids, we would fly out there.
And visit the
Small
That's
Jets.
world.
how Prison Break was there. Yeah.
Small,
And
small world.
yeah, I do 6 a.m. because kids.
Yeah.
It's either because
Yeah.
I would do 7 and 6. Like I would just double it sometimes,
Yeah.
and then it's like I could continue my fucking phenomenal blue belt fucking 40-year-old career.
Yeah.
Or I could invest all that time into my son that's 8 and like has a future.
Yeah.
Mine's fucking done because he took it.
Kids are different. I mean, there are days my dogs just get me up at like 7 in the morning. It's just not every day.
Yeah. Or
And those
I
days
have
I'm
2
like, whatever.
puppies and they're just my house just smells like shit. Yeah, it's just like they're like you can't teach that.
I love
thing.
that we're just ending the episode talking about piss.
I don't know
shit.
how you're gonna actually wrap this up. I'm actually
I'm
curious
gonna-
myself.
You
You know
gotta
what?
stop being.
Joe
you just-
Rogan does not edit his shit. I'm not editing mine. You guys are just getting what you're getting. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys.
Good. 'Cause
How
actually
long?
do have the basis.
Well,